It's Sunday night. The Don is back. We are live, and I'm going to have a drink tonight, guys. We're celebrating. The Don is back. God bless America. Evening, all. Good evening, Richard. Good evening, Danny.
Good evening.
Good evening, viewers. I'm absolutely perfect. I am doing really well. Thank you very much. Let me put that over there before I knock it over. Right, okay. Where are we? Let's have a little look. Wow, we've opened the doors with nearly 1,200 people. They will be absolutely thoroughly disappointed, I'm sure, before they've finished. Lovely to see you all, guys. As usual, as soon as I start a live, my phone starts going mad. I'll have to tell my friends that. So I have, we have Joseph Robertson live at the inauguration, and he's just told me they've just restricted Wi-Fi. So whether we'll be able to get him on or not, I don't know. Hopefully we might get a live update from the inauguration. Joseph is currently sitting where I could have been, but instead of that, I chose to be at home with you two. I need to go and get my head tested, didn't I, really?
Not much of a choice, was it, Paul, to be
fair?
Not
much of a choice, really.
You should have gone.
It was a good choice.
With your little red hat.
You know.
Michael, good evening. The Three Musketeers. Flora, good evening. Claire Bear, hi, Paul, Richard, Danny, my Three Musketeers. Looks like we're getting known as the Three Musketeers. It's better than the Three Wallies, I suppose, isn't it? Evening, Joan. Lovely to see you, everyone. Alison, good evening. Well, I've got a lovely T-shirt on the night, guys. What do you reckon?
Wow, that's good, mate. I like that.
Do you like that? Look at that.
Did you have that made yourself, Paul, or was that one you bought off the shelf?
No, that is from our dear friends over at We Are True Patriots channel. They sent me one. Richard, I've got one for you, but I like it so much that I might not give it to you.
Is it triple extra large?
It is big enough.
Give it to Danny. Triple extra large. Give it to Danny.
It's big enough for even your stomach, Richard. If you want one of these T-shirts, I'll give you another quick flash.
Can you lift your T-shirt up, Paul? Let's see what
don't get to do that again.
No, I won't do that. I won't do that.
Seen enough of that already.
The pre-show green room was almost like a scene off of OnlyFans tonight. Let's have a little look. Snifter this evening. Irish Paddy, good evening. Warhawk, good evening. Good to see everyone piling in. Hoffman Singh as well. I've just finished a podcast actually with some friends of mine in America, and I've seen a few Americans in the chat here already. Thank you so much for you guys joining us tonight. Really appreciate it. Love to you all. Where are we going to start tonight, guys? So look, will Trump come after Keir Starmer's government? Now, that might seem a bit far-fetched to anyone living at home here in the UK. Well, how's he going to do that? But there's a lot of things that he can do, guys, right? And I tell you now, there really is. And I think that Donald Trump is going to make Keir Starmer's life very, very difficult indeed. I'll go as far as saying I think he's got it in for him. And the David Lammers of this world and the, I forgot her name now, the ginger one. What's her name?
Ginger Growler.
The Ginger Growler. That's how I think.
Angela Rayner.
Angela Rayner, that's it.
Right.
Angela Steiner.
Well, he's a good judge of character, Paul, isn't he? He's a good judge of character.
Don't forget, never forget Mandy. Don't forget Mandy. He's going after Mandy as well.
Yeah. So, where can he, in which way, Danny, which way could he go after?
I mean, he could actually go as far, and I wouldn't put it past him to say that he'll impose tariffs on the UK until Starmer's out. I wouldn't put it past him. I mean, look, Lammy's completely and utterly slated Trump in the past, as we all know. It's
absolutely,
and it's embarrassing. Khan, although he's nothing to do with it. While we're on the subject of Khan, Paul, can we mention just quickly, or do you want to just leave that?
No, go for it now, Danny, and we'll get back.
I don't know whether anyone's seen it. You can easily Google it, but his Tory rival Susan Hall questioned him about a week ago now, I suppose it was, about are there any of these gangs, and she wouldn't say what he wanted her to say, and it was very embarrassing, backwards and forwards, about 6 or 8 times. I don't understand what he clearly understood. He was being awkward, And on the on a further interview on Talk TV, there was, I can't remember who it was interviewing him, but apologies for that. He said he was questioned about all the horrific crimes that's happened in London since the 1st of January. There was stabbings, multiple stabbings, gunshot, all the bits and bobs, and plenty of those people actually didn't survive the attack, so it was a really bad one. And they said, would you back what the Reform are doing, blah blah blah. And his immediate response wasn't, "I'm really sorry about that, that's a tragic news, etc., etc. We'll try and get hold of it." His immediate response is, "I wouldn't recommend working with Reform." That's what he come out with straight away.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend working with anyone at Reform, was what he said.
Anyone at Reform, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
when's the next election, Danny? When's the next mayoral election? Does anyone know? Is it next year?
Off the top of my head, I don't know off the top of my head. No, I don't know.
Isn't it?
About 2 years out. Well, I mean, I think the interesting thing is, I think Ant Middleton seems to be weighing up whether he's going to stand as probably the Reform candidate. And look, I mean, Ant Middleton is, well, I'm not sure if he's decorated, but we know he's done a lot of stuff in the military. He was Special Forces guy. I think he was SBS. He did Afghanistan. I think he did Iraq as well. He's kicked in doors. He's stood toe to toe with terrorists and done the business. And I think, there's a few skeletons in his closet, but look, isn't there in everybody's? And I think if he can get past that, because they will hit him with that sort of stuff, if he can get past that, and we could get a mass mobilization behind him, there should be I think if Ant Middleton stands, every other candidate on the right, including the Tories, any other party, should stand aside and let Ant have a free run, and people should really start motivating their friends and neighbours to get out and vote, because I think Ant Middleton would have a lot of appeal certainly with a lot of the black lads.
And what do they do? What does Starmer do for Khan, who's ruined London? Let's be honest.
Is there enough? But guys, is there enough British people left in London to vote him in?
That's the worry.
Think there is?
Well, there is, because the turnout last time was so poor. I think the turnout was, I don't think it was even over 50% in the mayoral election. I have a funny feeling. It was really low, wasn't it? Do you remember?
It was less, less.
It was less. It was really, really low. So, if you get every single Brit that's in those areas, it depends how far it goes out, I suppose, doesn't it? But if you get every single Brit in those areas to get out and vote, and you get the black churches involved, you get the Sikhs, you get the Indians involved, and you do what we've been doing with the Uniting the Kingdom stuff, and you get people to just get this rat out. And I think that, I'll be honest with you, I think a lot of decent Muslims would vote to get rid of him as well, because he's a total rat.
That could be another march in London, couldn't it, Richard? Closer at the time.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what I think. I think he's divisive. I want a mayor that unites Londoners, not divides them.
Oh, he's
I mean, he is a divider for me.
Yeah.
And you need a mayor that looks past colours and etc. and treats every Londoner as a bloody Londoner and a human being. That would be a good place to start, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Have a look at where I should be tonight, guys. Look, I've just been sent this picture through live from Joseph, who is sitting in my seat tonight. There he is. Look, there we go.
Oh, fantastic. How amazing is that?
Look at that. That's been sent for me about 10 minutes ago.
You've had a good seat, Paul.
What is that, Paul? Is that where the inauguration is actually taking place tomorrow? Is that the that's where it's happening?
All I'm missing is the ring girls. Look, have a look. Front row, that is.
Fireworks when he comes out, mate. There'll be fireworks.
Oh,
someone was asking today. Some of the football lads were asking if we were going to have those dancing. They're only going to come if we're going to have those dancing girls on stage again. And I suggested that you and Danny put on the thigh boots and do a little jig. And you've been doing the dancing anyway, Paul. So I mean, because we can't get those girls
for the calls, pal. Anything for the calls.
We can't afford the dancing girls. So Union Jack bikini, thigh boots. Where you go, boys? It's there
tomorrow. Right, and it's a little bit light-hearted tonight. We're celebrating. I'm going to be away with the fairies after another one of these because I'm a lightweight, right? So look, tomorrow, if you want to know what we're prepared to, what some people are prepared to go to and do for this movement, the Voice of Wales will reveal all. The boys at the Voice of Wales, don't miss it tomorrow. They have got something to rival Donald Trump's inauguration, and it will reveal the real reason why I didn't go to America. Let's have a little look. Richard Haynes. Paul, he ain't ruined nothing, my friend. Trump knows he has a lot of support in the UK. He just knows Starmer is a complete mug and wants nothing to do with him. The special relationship is strong, enduring, and will take a lot more than the likes of Keir Starmer to break it. Do you know what, Richard? You're absolutely bang on. Yeah, you're spot on, mate.
Paul, I shut you down, didn't I, when we was talking about that? Because we sidetracked onto Khan. So you want to go back to that?
Danny, I've forgotten where I was, mate. I'm used to.
Well, we said about what do you think that Trump's going to come after the Labour government?
Oh yeah.
And we said I think that he could impose tariffs until Starmer's out, and I think that could be a heavy one, to be fair, and I wouldn't put it past him.
I'm going to go in even heavier, but Richard, go on. What do you think he can do?
Well, first thing, Paul, just a little word of warning to you: don't drink and live. Don't drink and live.
It's only Bailey,
you know,
mate.
I've been there, done it, mate. It all goes horribly wrong. You know? That's how I lost my Facebook channel. That's a joke, by the way. That's a joke. But no, what was the question again?
What would he do?
What can Starmer do? Yeah, what will he do
to do?
Well, I mean, he's done it already. He hasn't invited him to the inauguration. I mean, that is absolutely incredible that the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom has not been invited to the inauguration. That's such fantastic. A slap round the chops. What worries me about Starmer's regime is they're pivoting towards China, they're pivoting towards the EU. They're just rinsing and repeating what the Conservative and Communist Party did and what the Labour Party did before them. So, you know, I think what we need from the Americans is as much focus as possible on mobilising the whole of the British populace to get rid of these rats out of Parliament and have that reset, that not the Great Reset, the proper Great Reset, where we take back control properly like we were meant to do after Brexit, and we actually get a government that represents the people. Now, I'm not going to go down the politicking road, but what that requires is everybody coming together. They cannot do it without our movement. They can't get a massive majority without Tommy on side, without our movement on side. So what we need is Elon and Trump. Starmer's irrelevant, really, because he's going to do what he's going to do for 5 years anyway. But if we can get Elon and Trump to bang some heads together within reform and get them to be a little bit more inclusive of people on the right, then we've got a fighting chance of mobilizing. We were talking about earlier, all those people that aren't voting. That's what interests me. What interests me is only 50% or something, or just over 50% of people are voting. I want to know what's happening to the other.
Register 50%. To vote, people. If you haven't registered to vote, please do so, and make sure all your family and friends are registered to vote. But before you ask them to vote, to register, just check who they're going to vote for first.
Yeah, but no, get them to register to vote, because it's our job to persuade them. You know, I mean, I think one of the other things that's got to be investigated. You know, we're talking about these investigations. Mass voter fraud needs to be investigated.
Yes,
we've seen what that fella from Oldham, that absolutely excellent. I think he's a Bangladeshi Muslim guy. I think it's Raja. If you get him on the channel, please do, Paul, because it'd be great to have maybe get him on. Have a few of us on chatting to him. The information he's putting out there is absolutely shattering for the Labour Party. Yeah, and we discovered this when we were making those films about the grooming in Telford. We discovered that there were houses with about 20 different names, and the names were just very, very similar. So these were houses with only 4 or 5 people in them, and there'd be 20 people registered at that house on the electoral roll, because obviously we were going through data to get to find the people that we were looking for. And so, there's a lot of fraud going on there, and that's all connected with the grooming gangs, with the heroin dealing, with the people trafficking, with the people smuggling, and these dodgy Better Call Afsal lawyers that there are about all over the place.
Sorry, I'm just looking at some more pictures Joseph sent in through. I'll pop them up later. But is there anything in particular that you think that the Trump administration might potentially put into place fairly quickly, Richard? How are they?
Well, I'd love to see them. I'd love to see them call for the freeing of the political prisoners, in the same way that Trump's letting the January the 6th people out who had literally done nothing and just got dragged off the street more or less and locked up. I would love to see them push to get Tommy freed. I know we're looking for better conditions for Tommy, but to be honest with you, I just want him out. I just want him free. I don't want better conditions. I want him out.
That is what I'm going to predict. I think, I truly believe that Elon Musk is keeping his powder keg dry right now. They're going to wait until all this is out of the way. And I don't think this is going away for Starmer. I can see the Trump administration demanding that all of our political prisoners are released, starting with Tommy Robinson. And I'll tell you for why, because I think they're on it. I really do. I think that Elon Musk is on it. Therefore, I think Donald Trump is on it. The realist is a new member. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. And I'll tell you now, I've got people at the inauguration right now. They were there yesterday, speaking to a lot of Americans, good friends of mine, speaking to a lot of highly placed people. They all are aware of Tommy. They're all aware of the name. The name is no surprise or no stranger to them. They know what's going on and they are on it. And I've got to tell you, you got to thank and admire the Americans, because they could easily just forget about us, but they clearly haven't. And this will never, ever be forgotten as far as I'm concerned. The way the Americans are now having our backs is the mark of a true friend. Thank you, Si. Really appreciate that. Cheers, mate. Thank you. So yeah, I'm going to predict that they're gonna call for the release of Tommy.
Yeah. Well, did you see Steve Bannon? I mean, Vicky Richer, who we had on the channel last week. She sort of doorstepped Steve Bannon. And he was straight on it straight away. He said, "I'm speaking to Elon about this. You know, I'm speaking to Donald about this. You know, the president about this." He said he's going to go for it and rattle the cages there. And of course, here we go.
Let's have a look, see if he can get his connection. He's trying. He's trying. Let's have a little look. Are we going to get a picture? Hey,
look at that. MAGA hat on and everything.
Joseph, good evening. He did say the sound might be a bit wobbly, and it is a bit wobbly indeed, but that is live.
That's great.
Joseph, I'll tell you what, I can't put up with that. What I'll do is, I think I'll let's have one more go. Hold on. No, I'm not having none of that. Sorry, Joseph.
Get your connection sorted out, Joseph.
Let me.
Maybe, Paul, we could do a quick video, a voice note, and then email it to you, and that could come through in a little bit of time. You know, rather than live, and then maybe you can share it that way.
Let's have a little look. I'll message him. There you go. I'm just telling him the connection's bad.
Tell him to do a little video and an email.
WhatsApp.
That's what I've done. I'll tell you what, whilst we're trying to get out, let's have a little look. I'm sure many of you have seen it, but it's not very long. Let's have a little look at what Steve Bannon had to say.
People, New York's full of working class people. The message of working class people are what's gonna win. Just follow President Trump and MAGA, and we're gonna get there. Absolutely. Thanks.
Mr. Bannon, would you support Donald J. Trump to help pardon Tommy Robinson?
Well, I don't know if you can help.
For asylum.
Did we get the video of the last one I did with you? Have we gotten that yet?
It's already online. I can send it later
to Mo? Yeah. I want to show it to Elon. Make sure he knows we're fighting for Tommy Robinson, right? No, Tommy. I don't know if he can pardon. He's a U.S. president,
but he maybe can help with.
I think absolutely. Look, the British government. We got to put pressure on the British government to release Tommy Robinson. It's unacceptable. Tommy Robinson is in prison. He's a political prisoner. He's a political prisoner because he stood up, and now you got the British establishment all scrambling around on Rotherham, right, trying to hide and lie. And this is both the Tory party and it's the Labour government. The British establishment, including BBC, the newspapers, everybody looked the other way. The guy that wouldn't look the other way is Tommy Robinson, and that's why Tommy Robinson's in prison. Yes, they used some, trumped-up charge about he wasn't following this and wasn't doing that. I can tell you, as a political prisoner, they will make up anything to put you in prison. Tommy Robinson has been a voice for freedom. He has fought for those young girls for a decade. And he did the tough stuff. He went to the streets. He wouldn't back down. And he's been to prison multiple times. Tommy Robinson is a political prisoner. It's a black mark on the British establishment. The political class, the City of London, BBC, the Daily Mail, the Telegraph, all the papers, the Times of London, the Financial Times, every media company headquartered in London, they're part of the problem. Tommy Robinson tried to defend young girls, and what had happened? They put him in prison. Free Tommy Robinson.
Thank you.
There you go. I mean, it couldn't be.
That was Vicky interviewing him.
Yeah. It couldn't be any more clear. I mean, look, here's the question, right? Why can Americans find the guts to say that, but our cowardly lot still want to hide behind all the nonsense?
Well, I was just going to say that, Paul. I mean, I followed Steve Bannon for years. I mean, obviously he was Breitbart, and I mean, he had a massive impact on getting Trump into the White House the first time round. And he is an absolute bulldog. He's like a Churchill type character. I mean, he's vicious as well. He don't care. If he goes after the left without mercy, he doesn't show any courtesy or any niceness to them. He just knows what the communists are. He knows what the Democrats are, and he just wants to destroy them. And that's what we need in the UK. We need someone like that. And that's why I keep coming back to Dominic Cummings for some reason. I think Dominic Cummings is a sort of, not probably as good as Bannon, but he's a Bannon type character. You know, he's got that sort of, let's just get this done spirit. And that's what we need. People that don't care who you are, don't care about the establishment, don't care about a career. They just want to get the job done and save the country. And that's what Steve Bannon is. And him going and talking to Elon and still having the ear of the president, which he will do Tommy a huge amount of good. And, Tommy's got to know that basically how many people, and Tommy will know all about that video. So Bannon's the man, but I mean, and of course he's been in prison himself. He's just come out of prison. He was a political prisoner as well under the Democrats. I mean, the thing is, guys, when you think about this, you think about how finely balanced this is, right? July last year, someone opens up on Trump with an AR-15, just misses him, right? Well, doesn't miss him, hits him in the ear, right? That's how close we were to losing Trump, right?
Yeah.
And do you really think that if Trump had been assassinated, that whoever the Republicans would have shooed in would have the same agenda as Trump would? Not
Absolutely
a chance.
not. No, of course not.
So that's how finely balanced everything is, and we're still not. The Americans still aren't out of the woods yet either. You know, Trump's obviously going to do what he's going to do, but you know, when I look at the Israel deal, I'm going, that doesn't sit well with me at all. What they've done there. Obviously, we all want the hostages out, but my goodness, what a price they're paying for that. And I have a terrible feeling that the Israelis are going to pay a heavy price in years to come unless they get back in there and eliminate every single Hamas member in the Gaza Strip. And apparently, they've totally replaced the whole lot. All the ones that got wiped out, the boots have been filled. So what do you do with that? You know.
Well, just a quick note on that. We'll come on to that later. But young British girl, well, I say young, she's 28. It's young to me. Emily Damari, absolutely delighted for her family that she's been released. Romy Gonan, 24, and Doran Steinbrecher, 31, are all released today. Thank God, back in the hands of their families.
There's still no word on the Bebas boys.
No,
Paul.
No.
And that little the older one, Ariel. He was just like, if you'd have looked at a picture of my grandson when he was that age, redhead, looked just like, you know, they could have been separated at birth, just so similar. And that's when it hits home, is it? Where it could be your own kids, and you know, you want to see them all out. You want to see them all out. But I just hope that needs sorted out, and it can't be sorted out in a nice way.
We will get onto that later, because I've got some videos I want to play as well later on. Hoffman Singh, thank you. Good evening all. Have a pint on me, Paul. No surrender regardless. Cheers, mate. All the best. Nearly 6,000 people watching on a Sunday, a lovely Sunday evening. Guys, if you haven't already, please do subscribe. Hit that notification bell. It's absolutely vital that you hit the notification bell, because YouTube don't like truth tellers. You subscribe and they don't tell you when I've uploaded a new video. So please do that. And also give me a thumbs up. Would really appreciate that. We've got so much coming up on this channel over the next few weeks. And guys, I've got to tell you the amount of support, not only in my inbox, but also in the chat tonight from our wonderful American cousins. I feel quite humbled, actually, at the amount of support that we're getting from America. And it just shows you that they talk about a special relationship. There really is a special relationship between the British and the American people.
And this mob now, Paul, won't change it. They won't change it.
No.
They might temporarily change it. It might temporarily set it back, but they won't change it.
Well, I disagree, Danny, right? And this is where we've got to be very, very careful here, right? Because see, if we have this attitude that it's all going to be all right. It's not. Unless we do something, it won't be all right. You can't have that weak. And I'm not saying this just to you. I'm saying it to myself because I have the same sort of thing. Oh, it's all going to work out. Unless we do a lot of work, it's like you go boxing. If you're preparing for a fight, if you don't prepare for the fight and you just get flabby, get a belly like mine and Paul's, you're not.
Glad you didn't tag me in that one, mate. I'm seeing you soon.
Listen, I'll be seeing you in a couple of weeks. I don't want to be getting one of those right hooks. I told you that. But no, seriously. I mean, if you don't prepare for a fight, you're preparing for getting knocked out.
For failure. Yeah.
And
no, that's true. We have got a lot of work to do.
Really
got a lot of work to do.
We've got a lot of work to do, and we've got to, and it's hard and it's graft, and we've got to make friends with people we don't want to make friends with. But we've got to do this. We've got to get this, and it's got to be electoral. It's got to be. Yeah. This is the last chance to save democracy. Because if you look what Starmer's doing, I don't know if you'd looked at this, Paul. He's now, it's all over the papers again today. He's on about getting all these people, fast tracking them. Foreigners to be on the electoral. They're only voting one way. And of course, with the foreigners comes the electoral fraud. Then he's talking about the 16-year-olds. He's changing the council setup.
Boundaries,
so that, the boundaries I was looking for. So these things need to, and the biggest thing that needs to be investigated is the postal fraud. Of course, he's doing away with ID as well, so you don't even need ID, and that all works towards the socialist agenda.
Favors them.
We are not playing this. They are not playing fair. They're not playing clean. And this is what Bannon would always said. They're playing dirty. We're going to play dirty. And that's what we've got to do. And I don't mean break the law, but I mean, we've got to go at them with everything we've got. We've got to show them for what they are. We've got to do films about them. We've got to show them for the corrupt scoundrels they are. We've got to find out the names of these rats that supported these grooming gangs. We've got to find the names of these middle-class, white, pasty politicians that have signed off on working class girls having what's been done to them. Again, I'm not saying it because I'm aware of your channel, Paul, but we've got to find out who these people are, and we've got to go after them. And I'm not going to give too much away, but I think there will be a film coming out very, very soon that will expose a lot of the corruption, and hopefully that'll blow the lid off a lot of people, and there'll be a lot of people having to resign.
David Crosby, very soon. Thank you, David. Tommy will be on television all over the USA. Look, I'm getting approached a lot from channels in the USA. I was on one earlier tonight. I've got another bigger channel, I believe, that wants to speak to me as well, with a massive following. So he's big news, right? I mean, he's blowing up in America. Pixie, thank you so much. Really appreciate that. We are true patriots. Sorry, forgot about Danny. I'll send one for him. So, guys, don't forget, there's the T-shirts.
Can I have XL, please? XL. I'll wear it
over at the We Are True Patriots website. The link is in the video description below.
It's 2XL. 2XL.
And thank you so much. I've got the 2XL for you, Richard. Don't worry about that. James Biddles, Starmer's a tosser. Pass it on. Cheers, Angela. Thank you very much. Anglo-Saxon, London will never have another white mayor. Demographics. There you go. There's a prediction. Forever Marvel. Gutted. I didn't get a notification to this evening. Tuesday sometimes. YouTube are taking the P. Love you guys. People like you should be in Parliament. Do you know what? I never ever considered myself good enough for Parliament, Richard. But after this Labour lot, I've got a dog that I think's suitable for Parliament.
Absolutely. I'd vote for him over Labour.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I mean, not just Labour, the whole stinking lot of them.
Yeah,
the whole lot of them. I can't think of one sitting MP that I go, do you know what? He'd make a good Prime Minister.
No.
I can't think of a single one. A few years ago, I mean, is David Davis still in there? But he's getting too old.
Do you mean, sorry, Richard, clarify that. Do you mean in the whole of the House?
Yeah.
I think Rupert Lowe would be all right.
The problem is I'm not being funny, but 5 years' time, he's going to be, 73 or something like that there. I mean, the end of the day, well, I suppose Trump's, nearly 80, but, maybe Rupert Lowe, but he would be the only one.
I thought it was a gnat.
That wasn't a part of your body falling off then, Richard, was it? It wasn't.
No. It was just my listening device.
wasn't an excerpt from The Fly. You know, when he looks in the mirror and bits of him start falling off. You get to that age, don't you? You know.
No,
Have you done that?
Paul, I haven't got a clue what you're talking about.
No, I've got.
We're
Richard,
too young, Rich, aren't we? We're too young.
Richard,
We're way too young for that.
There is over 6,000 people watching, and I've got to be honest with you. I'll tell the truth. I'm not frightened to say it. I look in the mirror some days, and there's a bit there that wasn't there the night before. It's just appeared.
I was going to say something that was X-rated, but I'm just going to bite my lip instead.
No, don't be doing that. Trapped in DC from Mercia. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. David, Tommy is going to be surfing the USA. Cheers, Chris. Really appreciate that. Right, I'll tell you what, we'll move on a little bit because I'll tell you what has got my, I was going to say got my blood pressure going up, but I shouldn't really say that at the moment, should I?
How's that going, Paul? Got any updates on that yet? Were you little machine?
I've got a blood test on Tuesday and the doctor said don't buy any long life milk. Apart from that, nothing.
That means you got 6 weeks. You're fine.
Let's have a little look. Now, over the weekend, guys, on a much more serious note, we have seen quite a lot going on in London. Again, these were the scenes as the hostages were released earlier today.
That was London.
No, that's not London. Not yet. These were the scenes earlier on as the hostages were released. We get on to London in a moment. These are the guys, the peace-loving Palestinian marchers in London are getting behind. I mean, look at the picture of this young lady. Look at her face, right? Look who she's around it. Can you imagine the terror?
Yeah.
Can you imagine the terror? And these are supposed to be the good guys, apparently.
Savages.
Now, in London, let's get this up here. In London yesterday, we had more peace demonstrations. Jeremy Corbyn and John McDonnell faced police interview after pro-Palestinian rally. Apparently, they broke conditions, so they're going to be interviewed under caution about bloody time. But let's have a little look. I'm sure a lot of this has done the rounds, but let's have a little look at some of the stuff that was going on yesterday.
They're just Zionists, so they're all sure getting paid for standing there being protected by the police.
Are they forcing their way through? They won't be forced. Get up on the radio and say call information and let them know. Why the fuck you got the march? Why the fuck you got the march? Why the fuck you got the march?
And they're a lovely lot.
Far right.
And they're a lovely lot. I mean, they're really delightful. I mean, I'll tell you what, let's put the politics to one side. Let's put the reasons that they're there for one side for a moment. Is there any wonder that the vast majority of the British public are sick to death of these people? Their attitude, the way they operate, the way they cover their faces, the way they speak to our police officers, the way they address the Jewish community. They're absolute animals, half of them, and I make no excuses for saying that. But they disgust me.
Stood up, Paul? Has Starmer ever stood up and said outright far right? No, he
hasn't.
Well,
what I want to know is
he hasn't said outright far left, does he?
Where's all the fast track prison sentences? That's what I want to know. Let's have a little look at some more. that guy was arrested after having a sign that said de-proscribe Hamas and Hezbollah. So covertly trying to support Hezbollah and Hamas. Thought he'd be clever and get away with it, but the police at last are starting to get on this. Nearly 7,000 people watching. Amazing. Thank you so much, guys.
Get off She has a baby!
If she's got a baby, why is she taking that to a march like that? How irresponsible is that?
Well, listen, we've seen plenty of it. They do that in the Middle East. They give their kids guns, don't they?
Look at the steward. The steward was assaulting a police officer.
Yeah.
Imagine if that happened to one of our marches.
Oh, we ain't finished there, guys. Spare with me.
Okay.
That's the reason why I'm obviously, you know, that's why I'm engaging with you, and that's why I'm not going to allow you to walk any further.
Yeah, he is, and they know that, and they know
okay.
he's arrested.
Who are you?
Who are you? Because I know all about you.
Who are you?
Right. I know about you, banana man. I know what you're about, love.
What are you wearing on your head?
Do you know what I mean? I know what you're about. You're not even allowed to be here.
Do you have a problem with the Union flag?
It's a rotten empire. It's a rotten empire. I have a big problem with it.
Yeah, you have a big problem. Why are you living here? Why are you here?
You're from Iran.
Why are the English here? Let me see if I can get you. Why are the English here?
If you have a problem with UK, why are you staying here? Leave the country.
This guy has a problem with the rotten empire, right? Nothing to do with Israel or Gaza. He's talking about Brit hating. And then finally, I just show this because this one.
There is a point on that, Paul. Why he's saying that? Because their ideology, the Islamists and the far left. Well, let's just call them the socialists. The Islamists and the socialists. Their doctrine claims that Israel is a part of empire. So Israel is basically an outpost of the imperialists.
Yeah. Where we welcome
you look like a rapper, mate. I love that.
The patriotic Christian is live. Can you hear us?
Oh. Hello, you all right?
How you doing, mate?
Yeah, good. Sorry, I thought I was gonna wait in the background, but I'm here now.
No, you're all right. I've let you in a little bit early. We're just going through some of these videos. Have a listen to this little delightful chap, and he sounds like a born and bred Englishman. But listen to this pillock.
How long do you think the ceasefire will last? It's already broken, hasn't it? How quickly did it feel last time? Like 8 hours? 5 hours? Something like that.
So you're quite sceptical?
Yeah. Either way, it's not a long-term solution at all, so it's not... It would be very surface level of me to say that I support the ceasefire. I don't. I want Palestinians to keep on fighting, Paul says.
But you don't want any more war?
Oh, I do.
Oh, you do?
I want Palestine to keep fighting.
Okay.
I don't want them to stop where they are now. I want them to destroy Israel.
Can you believe what you're hearing now? For me,
was that a bloke or a woman?
No, I'm not sure, Danny.
It was a bloke. I can't even believe what I'm seeing, to be honest with you.
I mean, it's unbelievable, isn't it? Unbelievable.
So now, he was like a Hezbollah action figure.
Hmm.
He just need that. Do you know what that lad needs? He needs a pager in his pocket.
Eagle eyes.
Did you see? He's the head steward of the Palestine demonstration.
Yeah,
and he's the vice chair of Stop the War Coalition, and he was calling openly for an intifada, and he was arrested, but then they released him as soon as they got away from all the people that were there, which is absolutely disgusting.
I mean, look, guys, I've been to 4 of our demos now, right? And I've seen more action and abuse and problems in that 2-minute compilation of video clips than I've seen at all of our events combined. And I cannot believe that doing a quick scour of the newspapers today, you wouldn't know this had happened.
And that's strange. And that's strange.
Well, there's a surprise.
Tumbleweed just blowing through the western town, isn't it?
Unbelievable.
Anyone that buys a newspaper or watches mainstream media now really needs to question their.
This is the danger. This is the danger, guys. On a more serious note, as I pour me fifth Baileys, I better. It's a good job we're nearly 45 minutes in. Otherwise,
don't drink and live, Paul. I've told you.
You might have a problem. But on a more serious note, I believe that is winding the public up. I believe that is essentially. That is causing the tensions to rise. They should be covering it equally. They should be saying, look at these people misbehaving themselves. And fair credit to the police yesterday. It looks like for the first time in a long time, they were on it.
They're beginning to have enough themselves, aren't they?
Totally.
Well, exactly. Now, the question now is, now we have a ceasefire. Are these bloody marches on a Saturday that disrupt towns and cities across the country, costing the local community and the taxpayer millions upon millions of pounds, ruining local businesses? Are they going to stay at home now on a Saturday? I tell you what, I think not.
No,
this is just the start for them.
Their excuse now is that they want us to stop arming Israel and stop funding them and selling them the ammunition that they're killing kids with. Apparently, that's their excuse now.
Well, I just hope Trump has a plan for this. I mean, goodness knows what's going to happen to Netanyahu. I mean, he's probably on borrowed time. And if Israel get a left-wing government, Israel's in big trouble because they're going to let that nest of vipers grow again in the Gaza Strip. Should never happen in 2006. Should never have been handed over. It was an absolute catastrophe for Israel security-wise.
Here's a tough question, Richard, and I'll go to you for this one first. And it's a really, really, really difficult question. It's not even one that I really like asking because it's not particularly pleasant. But when I look at the pictures, when I look at the images, which I know are not necessarily representative of an entire community, but when I look at the pictures coming out of the Middle East and Gaza, the population there, I have to say, don't look particularly anti-Hamas to me. They look...
Well, they're not. I mean, well, if we go by the last election, I think they got something like a 70% majority. I think it was something ridiculous. Could be wrong on that. Go and Google it, fact check me. But when you look at all the polling of the people of Gaza particularly, they are very, very hardline Islamist people. I mean, that's just a fact. That's not me being bigoted against Palestine because I don't care one way or the other. It's not my country. I mean, you know, but they are very, very hard line on things like, blasphemy law and Sharia law and all that sort of stuff. All the stuff that they normally, Pew do all these polls, of Islamic attitudes. And when you look at them, I think only Afghanistan is more hard line in terms of what they believe. So I think from that point of view, there's a massive, massive problem there. And it's a generational re-education thing. And I don't even know if it would work, and it's definitely not going to work if Hamas are in. And what this deal has done is left Hamas in control. And so Netanyahu's failed in his war aims because his war aims were to destroy Hamas. But it's actually not Netanyahu's fault. It's the Democrats in the United States. They did not allow Netanyahu to fight the war in the way he wanted to fight it. And he wasn't going in there to massacre people. He wanted to be a lot more robust in fighting Hamas.
But are they defeatable though, Richard? Realistically, I mean, I'll throw this open to Danny and B as well. I mean, look, realistically, are Hamas defeatable? Because it seems to me that they're a bit like the Chinese army. It doesn't matter how many you eliminate, there's another platoon coming over the hill. So what I need to do, I said earlier on, should I get political opponents on this channel? And I'd like to do that. I'd like someone that actually supports this cause to come on one night and tell us how it's going to work out. Tell us how you think it's going to work out, because
that'd be a good idea, Paul.
Well, look, ultimately,
for a debate.
Ultimately, unless the Palestinians completely eliminate Israel or the other way around, this is never going to come to an end unless they find middle ground.
This is the problem, Paul. The problem is that Israel is. It's a bit like Northern Ireland and the situation with the IRA. The IRA were defeated. Well, the IRA were pretty much defeated. And what happened was first of all got John Major. Maggie Thatcher had absolutely minced the IRA. They were every operation they did, they were getting arrested or they were getting killed. They could hardly do anything without being stopped, right? And it could be very similar in the Gaza Strip. Look at what they've done with Hezbollah. Hezbollah's been completely castrated, right? The Syrian army's been destroyed. The Iranians are under massive pressure. This deal must have given so much. The Iranians must be dancing a jig now, because it's definitely massively weakened Israel's hand. And
but is Trump in the background there somewhere, though?
Well, yeah, if he is, I hope he's. Look. Trump's not going to get everything right, guys. You know, as much as we like Trump, he can only do what his advisors advise him to do. Remember, he's America first, so he's thinking about America. He's not really too. Obviously, he is heavily invested in Israel, but he's thinking about America's future. So the problem that you've got in Israel is the left-wing judges, the left-wing politicians. It's exactly the same problem that we've got in any liberal democracy throughout the world. They have been massively infiltrated by people who do not have the best interests of the nation at heart. And Netanyahu's been fighting pretty much on his own this cause for years. If he goes, the only hope that you've got is Naftali Bennett, who's an excellent politician and an ex-Israeli Special Forces guy, that he gets in, because he would, I think, do what it takes in the Gaza Strip. And it sounds awful, but, you know, the reality is, to win the Second World War, a lot of people had to die. And that's all I'm going to say on that. These are genocidal, fascist, anti-Semitic Islamists who their only aim is the destruction of Israel. And the only way Israel can have peace is by a complete defeat of Hamas. And however they have to do it, if it takes 5 years, 10 years, they've got to keep going until Hamas are eliminated and the ideology in the Gaza Strip has changed. So what you need two things. You need to rebuild. I mean, you see, you've got to remember, Israel occupied Gaza until 2006. And Ariel Sharon, again, a good military general, in his older years, signed up to a really bad deal and pulled everybody out of the Gaza Strip. There was Israeli settlements in the Gaza Strip in 2006, and they were all dismantled and pulled out. And they didn't have anywhere near the problems in Israel with terrorism as what happened on October the 7th. So I think it's shocking, because all those young Israeli soldiers have died, all those hostages have died, and if there's not a complete victory, they've literally died for nothing. And
the problem is, Richard, that's the question I was asking, right? Can there be a complete victory when it appears that basically the whole of the region is Hamas supporters of Hamas? And, you know, it shocks me to think that of that amount of death. So can't they somehow get around the table and get this sorted out? I mean, there must be an answer somewhere.
Not with Hamas.
No, I fear you're right.
Hamas have got to go, and this sounds terrible. This sounds really, really bad. What I'm going to say. I almost hope that Hamas do something stupid again, and the Israelis have to. Not that a whole lot of people get killed, but they do something where the Israelis go, we can't. I mean, my goodness, they said it. I've loads of Jewish friends. Every single one of my Jewish friends. They're all, and they would be from completely different political backgrounds, but they are all 100%. Hamas must be destroyed, and they haven't changed their view on that. The Democrats, because it's not Biden, because he's just a sock puppet that doesn't know what day of the week it is. Whoever was running that presidency, and don't forget that the Democrat Party in the United States is infiltrated in the same way that the Labour Party is with Islamists. The Democrat Party is infiltrated with the Muslim Brotherhood at the highest levels, and you know, that's documented. That's not me, you know, just pulling that out of the sky. And go and check it out. Fact check me on that. So you've had an American government that's been literally forcing Israel to fight one arm behind its back, you know, and thankfully they managed to sort Hezbollah out in the north, and hopefully they'll not rise from the ashes. But they're so deeply dug in the Gaza Strip. I don't think they even got into half of the tunnels. Do you know what I mean? So, and obviously they didn't, because these people have just sprung up again. Like, you know, and it's like what the Israelis call it, mowing the grass. They cut the grass. You know, 2 years later, it's going to have grown up again. You know, literally a year, and Hamas are at the same strength. It's crazy. You know, and it's.
Chris, thank you very much for that. Forever Marvel, you guys are so much better. You have a brain. Thank you. Mark, good evening, gents. Look forward to February the 1st. Yeah, don't forget, guys, February the 1st, please be there. That is absolutely massive.
Want to give that another shout, Rich, where we're meeting?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to be, everyone's going to be traveling into Waterloo Station. I believe King's Cross Station may be closed, so check the routes coming in to make sure that you've got the routes that you can come in. That's you know, somebody told me that last week. The King's Cross Station is closed, but get to Waterloo Station for midday, 12 o'clock. Get to the Sandal Street Waterloo Road junction, which is, it's actually one of the exits out of the station. You come down the escalators. There's a McDonald's on your right. The tube escalators are on the left. Come out those doors, Union Jack Club's in front of you, the Wellington Pub's on the left, and you can't miss it. If you're coming out the main doors of the station, you just need to go round onto Waterloo Road, walk under the turn right, walk under the railway bridge, and you'll find us. Same as with the taxi rank, you can go down to the same direction. Just make your way down to the main exit of Waterloo Station, and then hang a right and hang another right, and you'll find us there. But we'll put some maps up before the event. I mean, we're going to have a lot of stewards there from very early in the day, so probably from about 10:30 we'll have stewards in the area of Waterloo Station. We'll have people on Sandal Street and Waterloo Road. We don't know how many people are going to come, so what we'll do, we'll fill up Sandal Street right the way back. There's kind of a railway bridge there, viaduct or whatever they call it, and you can gather under there, and then we'll probably get about 10,000 people, I would imagine, in Sandal Street, that sort of area. Once that's happened, we'll have to spill out onto the street. It'll be one lane first of all that'll probably be taken up with our people, and then if it gets really busy, we'll fill both lanes. And obviously we're stepping off at 1 o'clock anyway, so it's not going to be too much disruption for anybody. But yeah, so it's going to be a really good day. And I was thinking about this, Paul. People that are really hacked off about the grooming, right? This is an outlet for that, a peaceful, legal, democratic outlet. If you're annoyed about what's happened to our daughters, to the daughters of England, well, 1st of February is the first chance you're going to have to let your voice be heard at Downing Street about what's happened. Because remember, the reason Tommy is in prison, as Steve Bannon said in that video earlier on, it's not because of the technicalities and the technical way in which he's broken an injunction, which is what it was. It's not about that. It all goes back to the grooming trials that he was 2018, May 2018, my birthday. He was arrested, dragged off the street, fast-tracked through the courts, straight into prison. His life was in danger, right? And this all stems from that. All of this comes out of that. They wanted him silenced. And thanks to Elon, this has blown up in their faces. And this event, if you care about Tommy Robinson, if you care about our daughters, if you care about the other political prisoners, and if you're for freedom, justice, and peace, you need to get to this event.
Be there on February the 1st. Got another image through from Joseph. That is Megyn Kelly. And I've got
going to say Joseph's looking good in a red dress.
Yeah, I've got a little voice message from. Let me play this to you guys. Hopefully you'll be able to hear it.
Well, security is tight. We've just had Kid Rock playing. We've had John Boyd coming out.
Oh, hold on. That's gone quiet. 1 sec.
Good words for the president. And now we've got senior advisor to Donald Trump, Stephen Miller, talking up on stage. The energy is absolutely electric here. I've somehow wound my way almost right by the stage, and I cannot hear myself.
Can you hear that?
We've had some rousing renditions.
No, it's gone a bit quiet again, isn't it?
Almost to the front,
I bet that's awesome now.
And I cannot hear myself think. We've had some rousing renditions. We've had a lot of prayers. Looking around this room, you feel like politics really is back where it needs to be. We've got to try and bring some of this energy to the UK, guys. It's just phenomenal. We've got guys all around who've done wonderful stuff, investigative journalists, you've got security guards, you've got even foreign celebrities coming in now. I can see a couple of world leaders dotted around the crowd. This is a world gathering. This isn't just about Trump and America. This is about the whole world. It's a message of positivity. I've spoken to some senior guys. They've got great messages. A couple of them, I believe, who you might know, are coming to speak in September. They want to export this energy, and it's up to us to translate it now into what we're doing in the UK. This is phenomenal.
There you go.
Joseph said we've got some world leaders there. Won't be one of ours.
Excellent. B, give us what have you been up to? Give us the latest, B. I haven't seen you for a while, mate. I think you got a new channel you want to tell us about.
Yeah, so I've had to kickstart a new channel. The last one got deleted. I said some true things, but I think I put it out there in the wrong way. So that was deleted. So I've set up a new channel now, which is the Patriotic Christian still, but it's the Patriotic Christian UK. So we've been building on that. I've been working alongside, what's his name now? I've got his name. He's one of Tommy's friends from Birmingham. I've been working with him now, and what we're in the process of doing, we want to do reaction videos. We're going to make a documentary as well, in regards to some of these migrants staying at the hotels and try and interview some of them. We've got some debates coming on there and a whole load of ideas. The one that I told you about.
Oh, Byron, you're just breaking up there, my friend.
Conference and stuff in the future. So yeah, we're going to be trying to.
Yeah, Byron, you're just breaking up there. If you can still hear me, you've broken up. I've had to remove you for a minute. Hopefully you can get your connection back in order. Let me give you one more try. How about that? Is that any better? Can you hear us now? Byron? Nope, not having none of that. It's not working for Byron here, unfortunately. We'll give him a couple of minutes. Hey, technology, guys? What do you reckon?
That problem, Paul. Tonight,
yeah,
I'm in a hotel room and I've got fantastic connection. Brilliant.
You're back in the UK. Byron, let's give you another try.
Not yet.
Yeah, what did you get off then?
Okay, so we heard that you started. You started the new channel. Tell us about you. You're going to get out and try and do some interviews on the road. You need people to get over there and subscribe, right?
Yes, please. Yeah, that would help massively. Yeah, we're trying to blow it up as much as we can at the moment because we got some good content coming.
Okay,
yeah, good.
Your connection's really bad, so just shout out your channel once more again. What is it called again?
So it's the Patriotic Christian UK on YouTube.
Patriotic Christian UK. Get over there after the show, guys. Drop B a subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. I'm going to let you go, mate, because you're in and out like a fiddler's elbow. So
no
all the best, yeah. All the best, mate.
I'll see you all soon, all right, guys? I'll see you.
See you on the first.
Yeah. God bless you, man.
That's B from the Patriotic Christian. Nice guy. Always trying his best.
Paul, he has got some good stuff coming up. He's shared it with me a little bit of what he's got coming up, and it's they're going a little bit of undercover stuff, mate. So it's good stuff.
Good stuff. Earlier on, I asked, have you ever been scammed online? A whopping 10,000 votes. 40% of you said yes. Wow. 40% of you said you've been scammed online. And I dropped this one earlier on as well. NHS reforms mean that people who are overweight or who smoke will now be pushed to the back of an already outrageous waiting list. A pack of cigarettes is now between 13 and 20 quid a pack. Most of that is tax. I've also paid many, many thousands of pounds into the National Health System over the years. So 2 questions. Can I now buy me ciggies less the tax, or can I have a refund? And Richard being overweight, I guess...
Say, Paul, ciggies less the tax. I actually know a guy, so just when we get off the thing, I'll let you know about a guy where you can get the ciggies less the tax, mate.
No, I mean, but seriously, I mean, what's next? People that are short, thin, fat.
Well, I mean, Paul, I think a lot of this goes to the euthanasia vote as well. It's all connected. They want to kill the population. I mean,
they just want rid of us, don't they?
These globalists psychopaths in the WEF and Davos. And remember what Keir Starmer said. Keir Starmer said he'd much rather be in Davos than be in Parliament. That's the Prime Minister of the UK. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine Churchill saying that?
Terrible.
And these people are psychopaths, and we've got to realise that. And that's why we've literally got 5 years to save ourselves, let alone the country. We've got to, or else we'll all be on a plane to Spain in 5 years' time. Daniel will have some refugees at his Spanish mansion.
I've got good internet connection in this hotel.
Dave, thanks for becoming a new member. Paul O'Keefe, greetings from MAGA in Washington State. The British movement is lucky to have Richard, a clever and shrewd political operator, guys. Come to America and do the Bro podcast. Get Tommy on Joe Rogan. Thank you very much for that. Really appreciate it.
So I appreciate that, Paul, but I'm not Richard Tice.
Camo Films. I pray Tommy is safe and freed soon. 1st of Feb. Thank you, mate. Trapped in DC. Reads from America. Thank you, Fiona. Hi, guys, and good evening. No more supers tonight, guys. Thank you, because we're going to be bringing it to a close soon. Zarbinator watched Andrew Bridgen on Alex Jones the other day. He should be your PM. I believe that Andrew gave the first a good shout. That was brilliant. Julie Blackman, thank you, Julie. Richard, buy yourself an American Bulldog. Drew, Helix Gifford. Ever thought zero personality Starmer could be working for reform, as he's making sure Labour will never run this country ever again once they are out? Let's hope that is true. Phil Ramy, any vote advice? Will Ann M be a good mayor? Reading Raymond Ibrahim, defender of the West, Rodney K, bearing false witness manifesto, TRJC is king.
I think Ant Middleton would be a superb mayor. I think he would, I think he would get a grip of crime. I think he would, he'd be dynamic. He'd be full of energy. He'd be inclusive. I think he'd be a good guy. I think he'd be a really good guy to have as mayor. And I think, if he's going to stand, I think we all, as a movement, we need to stand behind him.
Get behind him, yeah.
Yep. Because he's going to get a lot of stick. He's going to get a lot of flack, and it'll need the normal people to say, do you know what? Listen, there's still normal Londoners living in London. I know most of them live in Essex and in the home county, but there still are normal Londoners living in London, and those guys need to be mobilised. And then you need to get the ethnic minorities that are not Islamic extremists.
Yeah, get them on board. Yeah,
get them on board.
Watch Tim Paul's vid after he appeared. This is from Annie. After he appeared on Piers Morgan, best defence of Tommy I've heard. Should be the attitude of all talking heads are taken. Absolutely.
But Paul, I tell you what, I don't know if you saw the Piers Morgan and Camilla Tominey thing on the Telegraph. Did you see that?
Just vile. Just vile again.
I mean, that man Morgan is this. Do you know what? People were talking about Tommy doing it. If I was Tom, I wouldn't even grace. See if Piers Morgan, not he's ever going to ask me onto his channel, but see if he invite me on his channel, I'd just say, nah, I'm not wasting my time with you, mate. He is a bully. He's shallow. Why he's really hacked off with Tommy is because Tommy got on his show and he even said it. Oh, he was waving a crown about above his head.
And mugged him.
That was back when. Back when ISIS were doing what they were doing. And Piers Morgan needed to change his nappy after he did the interview with Tommy. You could see the fear in his face. Do you not remember? Damn you, man! Put that book down. Damn you, man! That's the way Piers Morgan. He's a coward. He's a slippery little snake. He's a vile individual.
I think his problem is that Tommy is the man that he would love to be.
Yeah, because Tommy's got a pair. And remember what Piers Morgan did with our soldiers when he was working for the Mirror.
Yeah.
Hey, people have forgotten about that.
Yeah.
I haven't forgotten, and the soldiers of that regiment haven't forgotten either.
Cop Watcher 2. Cop Watcher 2. Paul Thorpe for Prime Minister. Get rid of the bad apples. Starmer is the head of the G gang group. Yeah, thank you, mate. Cop Watcher. I don't think I've got much chance of ever being PM because I'd have to have about 300 MPs as well.
Bracket, Paul.
I'm the right age bracket, yeah.
You know,
Cop Watcher again, free Tommy. Thank you very much. Anglo-Saxon. If I was a Rosa, I'd be like Dirty Harry. Not in this country, you wouldn't. You'd have to throw an apple at him or something. JX Super Sticker. Thank you very much. Forever Marvel. Paul, you should put up a Charlie Veach video, Manchester Palestine March. It does put a laugh on the subject. I can send you one. I watch most of Charlie's videos. They are entertaining, put it that way. Amaray, thank you. Left of Labour Party in 1948 and USSR both supported Israel. Back when Labour was for the working class, there was a Palestine territory, but Arab nations attacked Israel. Thank you for that. Oh, sorry, I can't quite read that. What do you guys think of Galloway's comments on the R games? Don't think I've seen that.
I haven't seen it.
No, I haven't seen that. I'll have to catch up with that. Forever Marvel. Get Charlie Veach on your channel. Charlie, if you're ever watching, I'd love to have you on. Yam's physical catalogue of media. Watch you guys. Hope you am well. With the great Elon Musk sharing some of Ben Habib's post, could you try to get Ben and Elon to publicise the pledge? Lots going on in the background, guys. Can't reveal too much, but there is loads going on. Vinnie King, Spoons in Waterloo is going to be busy. It certainly is. Pay Harp. It's getting a bit dark in here. I can't quite see as well as I'd like to. Here's the deal. All the Jews give up Israel to the Palestinians, and in return, every anti-British Muslim and Hamas supporters move to Gaza, and we welcome every Jew to Britain. Win-win. I just want to get rid of the terrorist supporters. That's all I want to do. Whatever terrorist supporters they are. Katrina McKenzie. Hi, guys. I'm an English-born revert. Didn't know any Muslims, didn't marry one. I was an atheist and have no culture. This should stop including all Muslims. Yeah, I agree. Hoffman, sing again. Free Tommy Robinson and Lucy Connolly immediately.
Oh, Paul, just a point. Lucy Connolly, you're a man that's got a lot of context. Have you any idea how I can get in touch with the family? Because somebody gave me £100 for Lucy Connolly, and it's been sitting in my kitchen ever since to give me it, and I haven't got a clue how to get in touch with it.
I probably can, Richard.
Yeah,
I probably can. Yeah, I will let you know. Richard, you've posted a video in the private. Was that for me?
Yeah, it's basically, it was just reference to Dirty Harry comment. If you want to play that for a bit of fun, you can play it, but it's up to you.
Go on, let's lighten hearten it.
It's just me on the range a few years ago. If you want to play it, feel free.
This is one of yours. Hold on a minute. I'll have to open. How do I do this? I have to open it in a new window.
And see if I don't know if you better do it.
No, I can't show that, mate. It's got something like it's got you can't show that on the live stream. No. No, you can't show that on the live stream. The last time I did that, the stream went kaput. They didn't even give me a warning. It just went
flatlined.
Oh dear! I tell you, he's determined to get me channel banned, isn't he, Richard?
No. It's like, do you ever remember the film from years ago? Do you remember the film from years ago called "Who Will Look After My Children"? Do you remember it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, with you, Paul, and your current status, who will look after my channel? That's the next stage.
That's it. Yeah, that's what it's got to be, isn't it?
That's one for Richard from Tony.
Tony, hi guys. I'll be there on the first, but I'm catching the train up from Bristol, Temple Meads, arriving at Paddington at 10:57. How far is Waterloo?
Oh, you jump on a tube from Paddington, I think. Paul, you're probably better at that than me. Paddington. It's not that far. It's like,
well, to be fair, if it's getting there at 10:57, we're not marching at midday. We're meeting at midday.
Okay, so on the tube, it says it takes 22 minutes.
Yeah, you got plenty of time, mate.
Which line is it, Paul? Does it say?
That's just from Baker Street. It says if you was to leave now at 22:14, you'd arrive at 22:36.
But just for anyone watching, if you leave now, you're going to be a little bit early for the demo, okay? So don't.
Yeah, I don't think he actually meant leave now. I think he was doing. There's a nice hotels there, apparently. Though.
I'm on form tonight.
Oh, hold on a minute. I've got a good video here that I've got to share. Let's have a look. Let's get that up before we go, shall we? From Joseph. It is the Trump family. Let me see if I can get that up. See how big the file is, whether I can get it in. Yeah, I can. Hold on 1 second. Technology, you have to upload things as you go. Let that upload won't take too long. Haven't watched it, but it says it's the Trump family.
Fantastic. What time does he arrive? Does anyone know?
No, not off the top of my head, no.
I know we've got a massive.
These. What are you doing back in the UK then this week, Danny?
I'm coming back. I've got various things to do, mate. I'm pretty much not stopping, but obviously I'm staying there in the UK now until the March. So
okay,
I'm there for a while now, mate.
Let's have a little look.
You can almost feel the energy, can't you?
Never use that tagline in the UK.
You
know what?
mate?
Now, Paul, play the Christmas tree countdown by Keir Starmer outside 10 Downing Street.
Oh,
everyone.
Yeah.
5, 4.
Right, guys.
You'd never use the Trump will fix it tagline in the UK or the slogan in the UK, would you? After all, Jimmy Savile, you're never going to use Trump will fix it.
No,
dear.
Guys, it is the start of a big week. Before we close up tonight, I've got a very, very important message to end with. Tomorrow, let me just get this up. Tomorrow is the 20th, as we all know, and it's actually gone now. But tomorrow marks the start of, I think, 3 very important trials. One of them, the biggest that this country has seen for a very long time, if not ever in many respects, in my opinion. The government have issued a warning that journalists, social media people in particular, should not talk about this case. And they mean it. So here's my position on this as far as I'm concerned, and I hope everyone takes heed and respects what I'm going to say right now. We all know, and despite everyone wanting the facts, despite our wish to know the truth and for it to be told, and despite what any of us think, for the sake of those children, we must not do or say anything that could jeopardize that trial. We can only report on what the court allows until the trial is over. Once the trial is over, then everyone can have their say, and I'm sure everyone will. But until then, and only then, should that happen. And that includes you guys out there making comments on videos, etc. They will make an example of people if they feel the need to. Don't be one of those people. Richard, any summing up comments on that?
Yeah, well, I think on that, Paul, I think the reality is it's not, to be honest with you, we don't really care about their petty spitting the dummy out about people saying things. What we do care about is this guy, if he is guilty, been found guilty. I mean, obviously, that's the important thing, that he gets found guilty properly. In
the trial is important.
there's no wiggle room of his lawyer saying, well, he can't have a fair trial because of this, this, and this. There's got to be a situation where he goes before the court, the evidence is put before the court, and they come to a verdict. That's the important thing. And those kids get justice. Then, after that's happened, I think it's going to be very difficult for them to hide any of the facts. So all people have got to do is wait until the case is over. However long it takes, I don't know how long it would take. You know, and that's because truth will come out.
Absolutely, just wait. Final super chat of the night, Slick. Thank you. I'm walking all 15 UK national parks in March, the first ever to do it. Do we have a charity I can support? Let's have a little think about that one and stay in touch. And I'm sure we can come up with something. Couple of things before I go. The gentleman whose son was sentenced last week after spending 5 months on remand, please get in touch. Yeah, please get in touch. I'd love to give you a lad a shout out and help you if we can. And what was the other thing I was going to mention? Gone out of my mind. Can't be that important, can it? No. Right, that's it for tonight, guys. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Big crowd, over 7,000 people again. Absolutely amazing. Before you go, please make sure you subscribe. Please give us a thumbs up. If you want the free Tommy t-shirt, it's available over at the We Are True Patriots channel. Links in the video description below. Richard, thank you very much. Danny,
pleasure.
Thank you very much. Watch out tomorrow. The Voice of Wales, all I can say is a surprise video from the Voice of Wales that will be worthy of a BAFTA or an Oscar. We'll see. Love to everyone, guys.
Musical theatre.
Have a great week. Stay safe, stay well, and we'll be back soon. All the best.